Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. Sampler reviews, series reviews I've been doing for a little while now. Go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about the stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie, it's starting to melt, so we best get to it pretty soon. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there, I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I am inside my truck, and whilst I'm doing all that, folks, sadly, I'm wearing grody work clothes. Typically, when I'm inside the truck and I'm wearing grody work clothes, that means I was on my way home from work, I found some shit to review for you. That's definitely the case today. I had a little bit of a day at work. It wasn't the worst day I've ever had, but it was a very taxing day, and at the end of it, I was kind of done, and, I wanted to just, And if you watch my channel, you know that a lot of times when I've had a bit of a crappy day at work, I like to treat myself with a nice frozen beverage of sorts. Usually I go to, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, or maybe, Dunkin' Donuts or something. Today, though, I decided to go over there, stop off at a Speedway / 7-Eleven. They're owned by the same company. And, they had a Slurpee flavor that seemed intriguing. So, folks, what am I reviewing for you today? It happens to be, boom, from 7-Eleven. This is their Zero Sugar Hibiscus Berry Slurpee. Why zero sugar, you ask? Because that's all they had. If they had a full sugar version, I would have gone in for that. But alright, let's get a thing for it. It's so large, I hope I like it. It's very blue. We'll go, ha 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 ha! And I put the straw in the wrong way and everything. Ooh, tasty. Yeah, there's that zero sugar hit. Hey! Let's give it a go. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. I like that. I've had, drinks and stuff with hibiscus. It's kind of a, it's like a flowery kind of thing. So, it gives a sort of an earthiness. You do have to watch, though, when it comes to, those more sort of earthy, flowery flavors and stuff. If you go too far with them, it kind of tastes like you're just drinking perfume. Thankfully, in this instance, that's not the case. I remember there was I think it was from Poland maybe? I want to say it was a Polish Fanta flavor. It was Fanta Szokata, which was lemon, or elderberry and lemon, I believe. I reviewed it. You can watch that review if you're interested. This reminds me a little bit of that, except change out the sort of citrusy hit from the lemon for more of a sort of general sort of fruitiness, from the berry flavor. But it's nice. And again, you get a little, you get a sort of mix of flavors. You get the more earthiness, more grounded kind of flavor from the hibiscus. And you get the more, again, more lively, more sort of, sort of fruity, sweet side of things from the berry flavor. It's nice. It actually works out really well. If you watch my channel, you know that I like contrasting flavors, and I'd say that this, this works to that effect. I wish that it was a full sugar version. I'm just going to say that right now. You can taste the zero sugar aspect of it. I'm guessing, obviously I don't have an ingredients list for this, I'm guessing though, they're probably using aspartame, because that's typically what the bigger soda companies use as their sweetener. You can definitely tell that it's a zero sugar drink. It's not overly abrasive. The majority of the flavor is that nice, frozen, again, hibiscus berry sort of vibe. But you do get a little bit of that zero sugarness. So that's part of the experience. But I do like it. I I have to admit I'm properly into this. It probably helps that it's in Slurpee format, because I feel like if it were in just a concentrated bottle form, right? Just normal drink form, I kind of feel like the zero sugar aspect would probably hurt it a little bit more. But the Slurpee aspect of it, you're already going to be dialing down all the flavors. That's just part of that experience. You're going to lose a little something with the freezing. But in this instance, it kind of helps save it a little bit, because again, I think it kind of diminishes some of the effect that the zero sugar aspect would have, even though it's also obviously going to diminish the hibiscus and the berry flavor. But everything does come through, so it has that going for it. I would really like a full sugar bottled version of this. I think it's cool. I mean, I'm guessing it's maybe it's an exclusive Slurpee flavor. I don't know what the deal is on it. But this is actually a flavor where, I'd genuinely like to see Fanta bring this over, put it on shelves. I think the last Fanta that I reviewed was the Chucky's Punch, the fruit punch flavor that they came out with for Halloween. That review is on my channel already if you want to check it out. And, that was good for what it was, but it was a little bit meh. Wasn't great, wasn't terrible, it was just a little underwhelming. A lot of that was because I just didn't feel like it had much personality to it. This has a lot of personality. Even being in Slurpee form, even with a zero sugar aspect to it, I like what it brings to the table, And again, it fits kind of my vibe, because, I like contrasting flavors, so I'm down with it, man. But, 2 questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Yes and yes. Yeah. I think for me, even though, like I said, I have my places that I tend to go for my frozen beverages. I love a Slurpee every now and again, and I do appreciate that, 7-Eleven / Speedway, they go over there and they're willing to toss out some wacky flavors and stuff every now and again. Gives you more reason to go in. They need to bring back the goddamn Pitch Black, Mountain Dew Pitch Black flavor. They need to now do it. I said so. I like this, man. It's something where even though it's zero sugar and that does hurt it a tad, it's nowhere near enough to really bring down the whole experience for me. And it's something where it's unique enough that, I would actively seek this out again to get it, just for my own personal enjoyment, review aside. I would, again, prefer to see it in a full sugar, in a bottle or a can version. I'd like that more, I feel. But, in Slurpee format, I'm not going to lie, I'm down with it. And I would get it again. Now, if I'm recommending it, I'm definitely going to recommend this. I think it's a little bit of fun. The flavors are, somewhat interesting if you're unfamiliar with, again, that sort of earthiness from the hibiscus kind of thing. But especially in Slurpee format, because, again, the flavors are being a little bit more mitigated, it's probably something that I think most people could get along with, the flavors aren't bold enough to be offensive to anybody, but at the same time, they're unique enough that I feel like they are something that you could latch onto. So, I'd say that if you run into it, give it a shot. Maybe just don't go in for the giant thing, unless you're like me, where you're all in on shit. 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year. Folks, go over there and have yourselves a truly hibiscus-tastic rest of your life, because it's just a fun word to say, hibiscus. It's fun. I like it. It's complicated. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what do you do if you can't do it all the time? I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. When we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there, whenever possible, take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, have you gone over there and had any flowery beverages? You know, like I said, I've certainly run into some here and there. The one that I always think back to is Moxie, which I believe I've reviewed, if I'm not mistaken. If I haven't, I should. Which is a very unique soda. I believe it comes from Maine. And it has such an interesting sort of floral taste to it. It's very much an acquired taste, but like it's one of those things where I usually have like between like 2 to 4 a year, you know, because it's just such a cool thing. But let me know your personal experiences. Anyway,